Dear local elected officials, your incompetence is not President Trump's fault. What's going on, everybody? This is Rob Smith. And if you're like me, you've been seeing a pattern playing out in the mainstream media over the past couple of weeks. So the coronavirus will start exploding in a certain population, and then that population's elected official will either run to the press or run to cable news or run to social media to blame it all on President Trump and to blame it all on the federal government. It's been happening in New Orleans, where their mayor, LaToya Cantrell, said that it was the federal government's fault that she didn't shut down New Orleans before Mardi Gras, when 1 million people from everywhere in the world came to New Orleans in a very, very tight place, congregated with each other, did God knows what during Mardi Gras, because we all know what goes down during Mardi Gras. But she said that it was the federal government's fault that she didn't make the call to shut down Mardi Gras and to not have that event happen. So now, guess what's happening in Louisiana? The coronavirus population and the coronavirus pandemic is exploding right there in New Orleans. Right? So does she take ownership of what she did? Did she take ownership of her failed leadership? Did she say there were some things that we should have done that we did not do in order to stop the spread of coronavirus in New Orleans? No, she didn't. She goes and blames President Trump. She blames the administration because, quote, they didn't give her the guidance to close down New Orleans. I'm sorry, but isn't common sense something that we want out of our elected officials? Oh, and no, it's not just New Orleans, it's not just Louisiana. Right here in New York City, where I am right now, it is the epicenter of the coronavirus pandemic. And while Governor Cuomo is doing a great job right now, the local leaders of New York City failed us. Just weeks before everything exploded, they were telling people to go ahead and congregate. Mayor de Blasio was saying that people should not be afraid to go outside. They should not be afraid to continue to live their normal lives. In fact, here's a movie that you should go see. So Mayor de Blasio was giving movie recommendations on social media when he should have been preparing the city for the pandemic. We had our local elected officials going down for the Chinese Lunar New Year event in Chinatown, encouraging people to come out for this, encouraging everybody to come and congregate in what is a very small space. And what happened? New York City is the epicenter of the coronavirus pandemic. And what are these leaders doing? De Blasio blames Trump. Our local elected officials are blaming Trump. Look, blaming President Trump is not an excuse for your incompetence. And we need to start expecting so much more from our local elected officials than what they have given to us during this coronavirus pandemic. I don't know who needs to hear this, but President Trump is not the number one person that controls your life. He should not be the number one person that controls local leaders. They should not wait for the guidance of the federal government to take care of their individual citizens. We've gotten into a really weird point in American history where everybody thinks that every buck starts and stops with whatever administration is under control in the White House. And I'm sick of it. What we need to start doing is we need to start demanding a lot more from our elected officials than they're giving us right now. And if you live in one of these places where coronavirus is exploding and you see your elected officials not taking responsibility for their own actions and trying to blame the president or this administration, be smarter than that. And when they come up for re-election, vote them out.